Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fight for Our Freedom Radio. And I'm your host, Badbaby. And tonight we are honored to have with us Kevin Annett. And you can find Kevin at itccs.org. And Kevin is setting out to prosecute those people and institutions that are responsible for trafficking, torturing, and murdering of children. Okay, I don't see Kevin in the window. I did confirm with him, so I don't know. I had some problems. I had to log out and log back in, and I guess you guys have noticed that I haven't been out here regularly. I've been under severe attack, had my computer hacked again, and went through a few days of pure hell trying to get it back online. But I'm back out here, and I'm going to run over and check real quick my email, see if I got a message from him. Oh, I hate this when this happens. Nope, no message. So let's go back here and, well, we'll just hang out for a few minutes and see if he shows up. Or maybe there's a time difference problem. How you doing out there, Arizona?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I love your song, your bumper song.
Oh, thank you.
You can hear that tonight.
I love Nat King Cole. My grandmother used to play that stuff. I used to sing all them songs at work, and people would go, do you know when them songs are? A lot of them I know are from the 20s, and people would say, do you know what those songs, how old they are? I said, yeah, my grandmother used to play them. I guess I was programmed by her, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. It was a good
I'm
kind
really
of
disappointed that Kevin's in the window. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe something happened, an emergency or something. He was booked to come on the 1st, and he emailed me and said that he had another show booked or something. I don't know. So we booked him for this. I emailed him yesterday, and he's confirmed. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't have the time right. I don't know what's going on. So I'm at a loss for words. Usually, I got
problem. Yeah.
I got backup, but I can talk a little bit about it'll be a little bit off subject here, but I can talk a little bit about some things that I've been finding out about Planet X, if you guys want to hear about it.
Sure.
Well, actually, I went in and I looked to see what Gil Bazard was saying, and he shows the constellation of the stars and where it's supposed to be. Now, I've been watching the Nibiru websites, and there's quite a bit of photos that are coming up that are, you can tell it's not lens flare. And also people are starting to look when the sun goes down and when the sun comes up, and it's getting to where, people are getting a lot of photos. Depending on where you are, a lot of them are coming out of Mexico, and there's a few of them that I've been looking at that are like cameras that are monitoring volcanoes. And one of them was really getting some good shots, but lo and behold, the government went and changed them out from infrared to cheap ones. So it's still picking it up, but not like it was before. Well, I was looking and doing some research, and the research that I'm finding out is, well, I had said this before, that the volcanoes are becoming very, very active. And there are 4 of them that became active this month all at once. And one of them hasn't been active for like over 1,000 years. And also the earth changes. There's more sinkholes, the flooding, the trauma of the weather, super tornadoes. All of these things tie in. I started going and doing some research of things that had happened when it came by before, and it's exactly identical. They were talking about it on the Weather Channel the other day, and they were even saying that 3,600 years ago they can tell in the rings of the trees what happened on our planet. And it shows signs of this all happening. Now, from what I am seeing, now I know Terrell, I got to get Terrell back out here. I've been emailing him like mad, sending him a lot of information, but I do have to get him back out here. Terrell, he was saying that it was probably going to be around April or May. I don't remember if he said that that was when we were going to see it or that was when it was going to spin around the sun. But from what I'm seeing, pretty much everybody's saying around August is when it's going to go around the sun. And interesting enough, I was watching Jim Bakker the other day, and he had another pathetic dream. He said the Lord told him that the storms are coming and to batten down the hatch. And he went and looked up what does batten down the hatch mean in 3 different encyclopedias. And it means be prepared, get ready, arm yourself. So, you know, I've been saying this for a while, haven't I?
Yeah.
To be prepared. That's all we can need. But the best way we need to be prepared is spiritually. I mean, because none of us know what's going to happen. You know, I do believe it does happen, mainly because of what Al Bielek says. That, you know, and he was on the ship that what's the name of that? The Philadelphia experiment. And he jumped off the ship when they were being irradiated, and him and his brother went forward in time. I think that that's exactly, they weren't trying to cloak that ship. I don't think they were trying to cloak it. I think they were messing around with trying to put it in time travel, you know. So anyways, I went and listened to one of his videos again the other day and what he was talking about and how he said the change in the map and everything. And, you know, one thing that he talked about in that video that no one talks about is that giant, huge sinkholes, when the shift happens, they open up. And that's what I think the Bible talks about, mountains crumbling. And but he said that these, you know, that's where a lot of land mass is going to be lost by these sinkholes. And the sinkholes are going to open up, he says, when the Earth's crust spins around the planet. What is supposed to happen is when this comes around and grabs a hold of us, it's going to grab the crust of our planet and break it loose from the core, and that's why they call it the shift. It's going to slide around. Well, when that slides around, a lot of the land mass is going to have giant sinkholes open up, and I think that's why we have so many sinkholes now, is because it's gravitationally pulling on us, but it's not close enough to, you know, do the whole shebang to us yet. It's just, and I think that's exactly why we've had such a mild winter up here in Michigan. I mean, winter didn't really hit till this last couple of weeks, the first time we've gotten real cold. But, you know, in December, people were out at 50 degrees walking around with little jackets on and that. And I think the reason that's going on is because it is grabbing a hold of us, but then it's letting go. I don't know if it's because it's being drawn towards other objects and then it lets go, but it's weird because we were down into the teens the other day. We were like in 18 degrees, and today we were 45 degrees. So can you see the drastic back and forth, back and forth? Now we're going to go back down into the, next week we're going to go into the 20s and the teens again. Let's see if we get released and go back to warm weather. Because this isn't normal for Michigan. This is not normal for one day to be 19 degrees and the next day it's 45 degrees. Have never seen that before. You know, I've never seen that before, ever.
Huh.
Well, I don't know what's going on with Kevin. Oh, this is really heartbreaking, you know. Then I got some people angry at me on Facebook today because I posted about the women that are being raped. I'm sure you've heard about all these refugees that are raping these women in Germany.
Mhm.
So anyways, I put a posting up because there's a lot of postings that are being put up by these people, and I don't know, it was a news article that I saw that I thought was very interesting because I've also seen videos where they've said this straight out. I mean, I've seen videos where they've actually said they are going to come to our country, they are going to infiltrate our country, they are going to murder our men, and they are going to rape the women, and they are going to breed with your daughters. I've seen these videos. So, you know, I'm not trying to bash anybody because they're this or that, or you know me, I love everybody. But if if the shoe fits, you got to wear it. You know what I mean? And there was this article saying that they are proclaiming that they're going to legalize rape against Christian women in Europe after they take it over. So I posted it. Whoopee ding. Oh my God, I got bashed by, all these guys from Pakistan started getting on me, telling me, you've lost your mind. So I went and found a recording, because I've seen a lot of them. I mean, they love to beat the crap out of women and film it and put it up on Facebook. They just love that, slapping the crap out of these women. And so I went back and found one of those videos, and it was Muslim men beating the crap out of these young girls, just smacking them all over the room because they complained they wanted to be let go. They were complaining because they were being molested, and they wanted them to be left. They wanted to be left alone. So these guys had these girls up against the wall and was just smacking them, and and they're such big men. There'll be like 5 or 6 of them, and one will be yelling at her, pointing the finger in her face and yelling at her, and 2 or 3 of them will come around from the side and cop her upside the head where she don't even see it coming. And I thought, oh yeah, these are real big guys that can just smack around a bunch of little girls, But I don't care what you are. I don't care if you're black, white, brown, purple. If you're going to smack the crap out of innocent people, women, and rape them, I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to tell people. And if like I said, if the shoe fits, wear it.
Yeah.
And these women, in fact, I saw another article which I thought was pretty interesting because a lot of these women in Germany are being raped if they have blonde hair. And they're also beating the crap out of the young boys that have blonde hair. I saw a couple of videos where this young boy, about 12 years old, was trying to walk home from school, and he had about 5 or 6 of them on him. And they were punching him and beating him and knocking him down, and he was yelling, "Stop, please leave me alone." And, and they were just telling him, "Get out of here." They were kicking him, and, hey, you can't blame the people in Germany for getting pissed off. When your kid comes home and says, "I've been jumped by a bunch of Muslims on the way home," or whoever they are, But anyways, these women that are being raped, they're finding that they're being raped because they have blonde hair. They're all dyeing their hair black.
Yeah, it's happening in Sweden, too.
Yes. And it was in Sweden, I think it was in Sweden where I saw an article where the motorcycle gangs are really getting pissed off about their women being raped. So they put an article up, posting up saying, "We're coming for you." So here we go, this is, I'll bet you any money, this is going to be the beginning of the, the Third World War. It's going to be because who's going to be the biggest boy on the block again?
Yeah, it's going to be a pissing contest.
Well, I'm really disappointed that Kevin didn't show up. I don't understand why he's not here unless he's being blocked. Because I'll tell you what, when I first opened the show up, I had to log out and log back in because my whole computer froze right up again. And I think whoever hacked into it before, I think, might be back in it because I was looking at something and all of a sudden my page started scrolling by itself again. God, it never ends. But, of course, did you ever think it would? I mean, I'm out here talking about things that, you know, telling the truth. Heaven forbid if the truth gets out there. I hope everybody had a really good Christmas and Happy New Year's and everything. I was out here Christmas Day. I think it was out here Christmas Day, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were out here Christmas Day. You were, you had your window open Christmas Eve.
Yeah, that's right. You know, I have been so sick. It's just been horrendous here. Besides being hacked, but I do have good news about Trixie. I was going to put her down in December. She was getting so thin and still bleeding, and I just didn't have the money to take her in, and I just didn't have the heart to look her in the eyes and do it, you know. And I had been praying, and I know you have been praying, and everybody's been praying for her. And just one day it just stopped. And it's been probably 9 days now. She hasn't been bleeding.
Oh, that's great.
And the best part about it is that she's putting weight back on, too.
Wonderful.
So, you know, and they really radiated the crap out of us the last 2 days. I think they're trying to get her to start bleeding again, you know. So I just try to shield her as much as I can and pray that we'll be okay, you know.
Are you putting her in your Faraday cage?
Yeah, yes, and it gets pretty crazy in there with all three of us. But, hey, Mama loves her babies, you know.
Oh, gosh, yes.
You know, and I call that my prayer closet. I go right into prayer, and I just set it before the court of the Lord, you know. I tell him, you see what's happening, and I want you to deal with them. And I don't think I could take it to any higher court.
No. No, they will
I'm really
be
sorry, you guys. You know, I'm starting to lose faith in Kevin here.
Well,
I don't know what's going on.
I think he's probably either blocked or he got the time wrong.
Well, he was on before and he had the time right, but it's possible he got the time wrong. I'm leaning more towards being blocked because I'll tell you, they really come down on him. I really wanted to ask him what he thought about the message that the Queen and the Pope put out for us over the holidays. Did you hear about that? That they said that enjoy our last Christmas?
Oh, I didn't hear that the Queen said that too.
Oh, yeah, and they were so upset when the Queen said it that they made her retape the Christmas message and take it out. But there were people who authenticated that, yes, she did say, enjoy your last Christmas. And when I was looking at the postings on the Nibiru websites, everyone's saying that's because they know what's coming. They know what's coming. Now,
yeah,
I think, you know, what I think what's going on with all these foreign soldiers being around is they're calling this the Great Culling, which if anyone knows what culling means, it means to cull the herd. And I think that part of the reason why a lot of these naturopath doctors are being killed is because after this event happens, if you should survive it, they don't want anyone around that could heal you naturally with herbs or, they just want to make sure that people don't have any recourse to make it through. They want you to struggle and die off as many as they can. And I think a lot of these soldiers and all that's going on they're going to be the mop-up crew. They're going to be the mop-up crew if they survive it.
Well, the thing of it is that these people going underground aren't going to survive it either. They're just, they're fooling themselves.
I don't see how, when you look at what's supposed to happen to the Earth, if the Earth crust, the whole crust all the way around the world, breaks loose and spins around, okay, their underground facilities are in there. So when it breaks loose, don't you think it's going to bust those facilities all up?
I would think so. Unless they're really down deep underground.
Well, regardless, it's still going to bust the structures,
Right.
I'm really sorry, you guys. I guess 4, 3, 2, I don't know what's going on. Kevin isn't in the window, so I'll have to rebook him again. Let's see, who do we have next week? I'm thinking, who do I have booked for next week? Next week, I think I have, next week's going to be a great show. I went and found a video about the murals at the Denver airport. And I wanted to see I had watched a lot of videos about them, but I wanted to see if someone had give more information about the meanings, because I know that there's 3 children in coffins. There are symbols on these children. One of them has the Jewish star. One of them looks like they're supposed to be from Sweden. So I would see if I could find some more information about it, and I did. And what I had found was that there is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed boy in some of these murals, and guess who he's supposed to be? Diana's son.
Who?
Princess Diana's son.
Oh.
When she was raising him, I think they actually used those pictures to paint him in there. And you know that Dr. Joy Jeffries Pugh says that they took DNA off of the Shroud of Turin and that he is supposed to be the Antichrist. And so I sent her this information, and I asked her if she was familiar with this and wanted to do a show on it, and she said yes. So we are going to talk about that. I find it interesting. That's the first connection I found where what she says could possibly be true.
Interesting.
I don't know how anybody can go to that airport. There ain't no way I'd even go to that airport. If they told me my plane was landing in Denver, I'd be like, oh, Lord, please make it turn around. How the room is really filling up, and I don't know where Kevin is, you guys. I'm waiting on him to show up. I'm going to go back and check my emails again. Maybe I should shoot him out a quick email. I just don't know. I have no idea. So how are you doing with your poems, Arizona?
Oh, really well. Really well. I posted 2 today and got a lot of good feedback on them. So, yeah. The one I wrote this morning was about being a Jesus freak and some of the things that I've done, like getting off of buses and telling people that Jesus loves everybody on the bus, and I've had been cussed out and spat upon and It's crazy.
Okay, I shot Kevin an email. Let's see. Guess two. Kevin who? Kevin Annett. Kevin Annett. We'll talk a little bit about Kevin. Kevin is a minister from out of Canada, and he actually is the co-founder of taking the Queen and the Pope to court in Brussels against crimes against humanity, for children being trafficked and sacrificed satanically. And you know what, guest date? I'm not going to put up with your crap. I'm tired of this crap. Don't come to my window anymore. I'm not going to sit here and let you interfere with my shows or run that BS in my window anymore. Get on down the road. Anyways, there. Bye-bye. One bumple off my butt. Anyways, the same crap, you know, where they come in and try to say, oh, I'm so glad you're not a TI anymore. Well, if I'm not a TI anymore, would you please call my frickin' perps up and let them know? Because they're still torturing me. You know how it is.
Yeah, I know.
Well, the show tonight, Kevin Annett was supposed to be on the show. And he has been on the show in the past. And I don't have any idea where he is. I just sent an email out to him. All I can think is maybe he got the time wrong or he's being blocked from getting into the window. So,
you have his phone number?
Huh?
Do you have his phone number? Do you want me to try to call him?
No, you know what? I did not ever get his number. I had contact with him through Judy Byington, and we just emailed back and forth. You know, and I've been so busy with everything here on the farm that, you know, I got to start getting it together and making sure I get numbers.
Right.
But like I said, next week we're going to have Dr. Joy Jeffries-Pugh, and I got a few other people lined up, but anyways, you can find out about Kevin. You can go to his website. It's itccs.org, and you can read. He has written a book called, let me get his book up here. You know, and there's a lot of interesting reading on Kevin's site. Actual stories. Alberta Gray, age 11, was beaten to death by Reverend Alfred Cadell for taking a prune from a jar. Can you imagine this?
Oh, gosh.
I mean, some of the stories, I mean, here's one. Joey Lavelle, age 5, killed and tortured from electric cattle prod shocks given to him by a priest and at a Catholic school. Can you imagine that? I mean,
that's sickening.
It is. It really is. Oh, here we go again.
Vaulting.
You know, if this crap keeps up tonight, I'm going to just close this dang window.
Oh, did they come back?
Show.
Did they come back?
Huh? I got people in here telling me to shut up and all this crap.
Oh.
You know, they're trying to rile me. So, I mean, see you in the window, Ethan. I hope you had a happy New Year and a pleasant Christmas. So there was a couple other things. So let me scroll over here. I hate to have to leave the window because if Kevin shows up, I won't. But I will, give you a little. Okay. a little bit of information about Kevin. You know, I was thinking today, this guy has God on his side, or somebody's holding him up, because to speak out against the, world leaders, I'm surprised he's still alive. But you know what?
Yeah.
Because God wants him out there. God wants his voice out there. Somebody has to speak up for these children that are being murdered and shuffled around.
Yeah.
People just don't want to believe the truth, that's all.
Well, the truth is too hard to take, really, for a lot of people. Then they have to admit.
The panic part of life is a lot of people don't realize. Oh, I'll tell you what I can tell you that I found out about. Did you happen to look at that video I sent you about David Bowie and his last video that he did about the Black Star?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I sent it to you. You're going to want to look at it. Oh, my God. I never really did research that video. I knew that he had put it out. It came out in January. And actually it gives a date. And, again, he's saying in this video, if you add up the numbers or whatever, it's going to be around August. And there's actual scuttlebutt going on around Facebook that the Illuminati did him in. And I think it's awful funny that he died really fast of cancer. You know he died.
Yes, I know. He died.
Yes. And what they're saying on Facebook is that the Illuminati did him in because he did that video warning us about Nibiru. And in that video, he talks about, you can see the Black Star, and it is bizarre. The other thing is the people are shaking a lot, like they're vibrating, and then that's one of the things that Bob Fletcher said, that, the radiation is going to, just make you, it's going to fry your brain. He says that you should protect your head with some kind of shielding or whatever. Because, and I thought, when I started thinking about the radiation, I thought, well, we ought to be used to that, us targets that get radiated. But yeah, that is a bizarre. In fact, I'll go find I'll go find it and post it up here so everybody can look at it, because it is bizarre. And I think it's weird how, I didn't hear that he was suffering from cancer. I know he was he was a Satan worshiper. I know he was very satanic. He followed Aleister Crowley.
Mm-hmm.
But let me go over there and see if I can find that. I'm still checking back and forth. We'll wait for him for about an hour. If he doesn't show up, I'm going to probably close this out. But I will go over there to Facebook and find that video, because I've got it on my page. And we'll try to get that posted for you guys, because that is something, I'll tell you. And I kind of think people might be right. Maybe they did do him in because he, I guess what did he have to lose, you know what I mean? The Black Star's coming any day.
Right.
Here it is, David Bowie. Yeah, and they talk about the observatory that's in Mount Graham that's named Lucifer, and there's some pictures of Nibiru. Okay, I've got it. All right, here we go. I'll put it up in the chat box for you. There you go. Watch that, you guys. Very interesting. Very interesting. And if you didn't get that,
Yeah.
Arizona, just call me tomorrow and I will send it out to you.
Oh, I'm sure I did get it. I just haven't checked my emails today.
Well, you know, with my computer being hacked and all the stuff I'm going through here, it wouldn't surprise me.
If I didn't get it, yeah.
You know, and you know, in the beginning of this video, he's holding up the Satanic Bible with the black star on it, but I mean, and this woman's walking along carrying a skull symbolizing death. I mean, it is very, very dark. I don't even understand if it's supposed to be entertainment and musical. What kind of entertainment do you get out of this?
Yeah. Well, he's always been the, you know, his movie was Goodbye, Mr. I can't remember the name of it now, but it was about a concentration camp in Japan. A Japanese concentration camp.
Well, I always affiliate him with Ground Control. It's one of my favorites. Ground Control made
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a good song.
I'm very disappointed that Kevin hasn't joined us, you guys. I don't know what happened again. You know, when I had him booked on the 1st, he said to me, confirmed, and then he emailed me and said, oh, it's on a Friday? I thought it was on a Sunday. I'm wondering if he's thinking it's on a Sunday again. And I thought, God, do you look at the dates on your calendar? I know I listened to one of his recordings today on Blog Talk Radio, and that person who was interviewing him, he apologized for not being there when he was supposed to be. So he must have a hard time keeping track of what he's got to do.
Yeah, he's like the absent-minded professor, maybe.
I don't know, Guest 3, if you can post on his website, but I do know that his contact information is there, his email address and that. And like I said, I was really looking forward to letting audience participate tonight. We were going to interview for about an hour because he said he'd do an hour and a half with me. I was going to interview him for about an hour, and then the last half hour I was going to let people call in because they were asking last time he was on if they could call in and ask questions. But he only did an hour last time, and I said, well, why don't we wait till he comes back?
Yeah.
And, you know, oh, another thing, let's get back to Nibiru for a minute. There has been more mass animal deaths. And one of the reasons why the whales and the dolphins are beaching themselves are because of our planet has already shifted some. So the positive negative poles are off balance for them, and that's why they're beaching themselves. Here's another heads up for everybody. Did you hear that Walmart is closing 260 some stores?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yep, it came out today. They're closing 269 stores, but 154 of them are in the U.S. I guess the other ones are in Canada. Yeah, 269. Hey,
yeah, those big boxes, buildings are going to be used for housing people, I guess, for FEMA.
Processing centers. Centers. Sorry, you guys, everybody that just joined in. I do not know where Kevin is. He confirmed with me via email, and he's just not here. I don't know what's going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang out for another 15, 20 minutes, and if he doesn't show up, I'll just have to reschedule him. That happens. You know, that happens, you guys. It's been kind of a rough year for me. I mean, I've been missing shows and having guests that don't come and been having a rough time. My computer's been hacked twice in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Don't end the show. Okay. All right. I will go.
Hang in there.
I usually do. Let's see. We were talking about the mass animal die-offs. The reason that a lot of them are beaching themselves, and then a lot of the fish that are dying is because the temperature of the water is different. The salmon, they said, just about died off. They didn't spawn and they didn't get upstream because the water's too warm. So our food chain is going down the toilet, everybody. You better all be gathering your prepper seeds and learn how to garden and be able to become vegan and feed yourself, because things aren't looking good.
Yeah, thank God my dad has a garden.
Well, you know, I've been watching Jim Baker, and he's pushing some good sales the last few. Today and tomorrow he's got some really good sales going on. But you know, you need to go over to his website because he's got some good deals on emergency food. And like I said, John Shorey was on his show, and they were talking about the emergency food companies were all contacted by the government. And somebody had contacted John Shorey and told him about it, and he said, why? You know, and they said, well, they wanted to know why, too. And they said, why would you want to know how much emergency food we have in our warehouse? And they said, because if there's an event, the government's going to come in, lock down your warehouse, and take it. And so he wanted to know if that was true. So he contacted the guy who's making food for the Jim Baker show, and they said, yes, they were contacted too. So, yes, they're contacting every emergency food supplier, and I don't think that they're going to take it to hand it out to people. I think they're going to take it so that other people can't have it.
Ow. Horrible.
Okay. We're having a dispute. I'm not even reading the chat. You know, why can't we just all get along? I mean, why do you have whoever is perpied is fun? I don't even know who that is. But I don't even know why you'd want that as a handle. Because I don't think hurting somebody is fun. But, you know, to each its own. Like PMH says, we all have to endure the pain that we inflict on others.
That's right.
So I call it the dog and pony show.
Yeah.
That's the elections that are coming up, which I don't even think are going to go down as far as I'm concerned. I believe that our disaster will either happen or martial law to be declared, but I don't believe that Obama's going to leave office. He's hinted around so many times about wanting to do a third term and all the executive orders that he's signing to be able to do what he can do.
Yeah.
You know, I call that the dog and pony show.
Well, you know.
There was a few other things.
I don't think there's anybody out there that's much better anyway.
You know, there ought to be a law. I don't even understand how Hillary's even running when she's under investigation for crimes. I mean, if you're under investigation as a criminal, you shouldn't be able to run for the president, but hey, maybe that's one of the requirements now. Are you a good crook? Are you a good liar? We need you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Well, there's been quite a few storms. I know the day after Christmas, they had like 9 tornadoes come across Texas, and there's still severe flooding going on up and down the New Madrid fault line. And I have been watching the earthquake map along there, and they are having some, it's starting to look like Oklahoma is beating out California in earthquakes. They've been having quite a few.
Yeah, that New Madrid is really active.
Well, I think that a lot of this flooding up and down the Mississippi River is lubricating the fault line. I think it's done. I think it's being done by design. A lot of people are losing their homes.
That's horrible.
Yes, it is.
And
Texas has really taken the brunt of it. Now, I know after Obama got out there and said, well, we got to do something about these gun laws, there were, I sent you quite a few of those videos. There were quite a few police sheriffs that came out again and said that they will not comply, and they are actually directing their speech right at Obama, saying that, I know a couple of them in Texas said if you try to come take our guns, then civil war will start. Yep.
Remember the Alamo.
Well, I got a lot of information and pictures of people that when they took the guns away years ago and how they executed everybody. I mean, that's all you're doing is making yourself defenseless.
Right. It's all by design.
Didn't I say on like one of the last shows that I had to wing it that there were General Mills was one of them that was going to close one of their plants, and they were going to lay off over 2,000 people. And now we got these 269 Walmart stores. There's going to be like 16,000 employees that are going to lose their jobs. 16,000 people are going to be unemployed. Also, you had heard me talk before about how they were, the FDA was talking about sending all of our chicken over to China and having them process it and then ship it back to the United States. And for the life of me, and they're saying it'd be cheaper, for the life of me, I cannot see how it's going to be cheaper for a chicken to be processed that you have to pay to ship all the way across the ocean and ship all the way back. Tell me that's going to be cheaper. You know what, that's being done by design so that all the processing plants down south that are, people are processing chicken, they're going to lose their jobs.
Well, and maybe it's going to all be orchestrated anyway so that all the chickens will be over in China. We won't have any food here.
Well, the thing is, I saw how they process things, man, in China. They were taking chickens and they were taking these needles and sticking them in the breast and the legs and the thighs and just blowing them up. And I thought, what the hell are they putting in there? What kind of poison they injecting in there, to make them?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want. Look what they did to our dogs. Let's just put it this way. Remember when all that food came from China and all the dogs got sick and died?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's enough for me right there. End of story.
Right.
You know, this is all has to do with the TPP bill that he signed and sending our jobs out of this country so that this country falls. When you don't have a job, you don't pay the mortgage, you can't buy the food, you can't feed your kids. And you know what they're doing to the homeless people. They're going around and kicking their tents down, slicing their tents up and cutting their lines and attacking them like they're criminals, which they, you know, people aren't doing nothing but trying to take care of their families. But it's all being done by design.
Yeah. That's why I took those homeless people in.
Well, here's a good one. The people in Flint, you know what's going on here in Flint, Michigan. They ended up disconnected from Detroit water supply. It was the governor and his team's big idea, and they knew darn well that if they brought the water out of the river up there in Flint, that there were all kinds of toxins and waste in that water from all the factories. They knew it, and they did it anyways. And now the people are so enraged in Flint. I'm telling you, they want the governor's head. They want him arrested, and I hope they do arrest him. You know, and it just kills me every time I see him on TV, and he's standing back there going, "We're doing everything. We hooked back up to Detroit's water supply, but there's a lead in the pipes now, so don't drink the water yet." I would never drink that water, believe me. And we're going to give you free bottled water at the fire departments. Then they show the fire departments, out of supplies, big sign on the front door, out of supplies. Oh, and they're giving them free filters for their tap. Whoopee ding. That wouldn't cut it with me if I had a child in the hospital that's suffering from lead poisoning, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And those children are very sick. I think Tony had some great information. I know anybody in the window there, if you want to go back and look at my last show, I had Tony on and we talked about nanobots. And he had some great information about taking some of this crap out of your body. I haven't gotten a bucket yet. I was going to buy one from him, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna make a stab at trying to make it myself.
How do you make them?
Well, you take a 5-gallon bucket, you wrap a wire around it that is copper wire, and you use a laptop computer, and you splice it, a laptop computer cord, and you splice it and you charge it with that, and you put vinegar and sea salt. I think it's vinegar and sea salt. There might be one other thing in the bucket, and you put your foot in there, and then you turn it on, and I think there's a magnet at the top. See, I don't know. I'll have to go back and look at his video again. Because I got a guy over in overseas that's going to make one, and he said that he emailed Tony and he's waiting for him to answer him back about the magnet being at the top. But anyways, when you put your leg in this, he says all this stuff comes out of your body, nanobots. Some of it's black, some of it will look red, some of it will look yellow. And he said, and don't freak out, you know. But he made one for some lady over here in Michigan, and he told me that when she used it, the first time she used it, she got a hold of it and said, "You would not believe how much better I feel, my back and my legs." And basically what he says is the stuff that they're putting in our bodies is to attack our immune system and damage our DNA because they are trying to call the herd, you know that.
Yeah.
And he said they're also trying to make their own race. Which that wouldn't surprise me either.
Yeah, the super race or whatever.
Well, you know what? Here I go again. I got the idiot crew in my window saying no wonder I think the world's going to end because I live in Michigan. Well, let me tell you, honey, if it does, at least I got enough fresh water, so how do you like that? Honest to God. There's an ass for every seat, I think.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not really with it tonight. I'm just.
Well, you know, I'm wondering if there's a time difference. I'm going to hang here until 11 o'clock to see if Kevin shows up. It'd be great if he does. I've had that happen before, haven't I?
Yes, you have.
An hour later, oh, I thought it was at this time.
Oh, dear.
I know. You know, usually I got a format for if I don't have someone show up, I got backup so I can wing it. But I didn't have that today because I was very busy around the farm here. I was working on wood. I mean, people got to understand I'm a target too, and I have to function accordingly. And when I get radiated, it hinders my abilities.
Yes. I'm getting V2K right now really bad. So if I seem a little out of it, that's why.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to answer this question. Guest 6 says, I don't understand. They still have bad water and they hook back up to Detroit. I don't think you understand the story is they disconnected from Detroit's water and they started drawing out of the river in Flint, Michigan. That's when they started pulling in the toxins and the lead and everything. So they disconnected from the river and hooked back up to Detroit's water, which is fresh water now. But because they had already drawn lead into the pipes, the water still is got lead in it. They can't get that lead out of them pipes. So that's why, you know, they're still saying don't drink it. It's not the fact that Detroit's water has the lead in it. It's the fact that they contaminated the whole damn system when they started bringing the lead in. You know, and I kind of think that something like that might be going on down here in Marine City, too, because I had read an article not too long ago that there was like an overwhelming outbreak of cancer with young girls over there in Marine City. And there was a couple chemical spills in the St. Clair River on the Canadian side years ago, because I remember the guys that I used to fish with, they brought some walleye over to my house that it looked like they had acid poured on their head. And I said, they're eating that shit on the bottom of the river from the chemical spill. But I believe that something's going on in that area for them girls to be. But, you know, that's the thing. Poison everybody without leaving a thumbprint, and then you don't have anyone to point a finger at. If they can't do it through your food, they're going to do it through your water or through your toothpaste. Or I just love it when I get into a fluoride debate with these idiots at the dentist's office. Oh, there ain't enough fluoride in there to hurt you. Really? Then why does it say on your toothpaste, if swallow, call poison control? You want to know why it says it? Because they have to tell you you're poisoning yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
They had a debate over here in Canada. They were trying to take the fluoride out of the water, and they had all these idiots calling in saying, oh, it's good for you, and blah, blah, blah. And So then I called in and I started giving them my information, and they were like, whoa. And they had no idea that it said on your toothpaste, don't swallow it, it's poison. And she goes, really? Does it say that? I said, well, go look. So then they went to break, and I was still listening, and oh, my God, she's right. It does. Our producer went and got some toothpaste, and he said, oh, my God, it does say. And you know what really irks me about that is the fact that they make toothpaste for children that tastes like bubble gum. And I thought, you know, they're going to want to swallow it. It tastes good. They just love poisoning the babies. And poor babies, they ain't got a chance. 36 shots before they're even the first day they're born, they start giving them shots. I didn't know that until I started researching how many shots they give the babies. Because when back in the 50s, they would give you like 8, 10 shots. Then it went up to like 15 shots. Now it's like 36 or 38 shots they give these babies. And I thought, man, their immune system doesn't even get a chance to develop before they're poisoning the crap out of these kids. And then let's just get them to eat that toothpaste. We'll make it taste like bubble gum. Not to mention that everybody thinks they should be giving their kids vitamins. I agree, you should. But take a look at them chewable vitamins. Look at them Flintstones and all them little funny-looking vitamins that they have aspartame in them. A lot of people don't know that. Got to look at what you're giving your kid. You know, just because it looks cute on a commercial and has a cute little design and they're going to like the way it tastes, it has aspartame in them. So right there, they want you to start poisoning your kids with aspartame. We got to get Dr. Betty back out here again, too.
Yeah, I agree. We're poisoning a whole generation of kids.
I was shocked when I had her on last time when she said Dr. Robert Baylock was dead. I didn't realize he died. I must have missed that email. That's the man that did all the research with her.
Wow.
Here's another one, too. I had seen an article where the, what do you call it, when they look through the goods that come from some kind of import stuff. Anyways, they found a bunch of gel caps or some type of pills that actually had chopped up babies in them, pieces of dead baby carcasses.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, they seized them. I was like, oh, what next, you know? What next? The first thing that came to my mind was the movie Soylent Green for some reason. Do you remember that movie, Soylent Green?
Yes, I do. You're eating people. You're eating people. Soylent Green is people.
Yeah, well, they don't reveal that to the end of the movie, you know.
Yeah.
And you get to have some strawberries or something and look at a movie about how the earth used to be, and I thought, well, if that isn't telling.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, it's 11 o'clock and he's not here. I sure hope he's okay. I hope that, you know, that nothing happened.
Yeah.
You never know. There could have been a medical emergency or a family emergency.
Well, we'll know tomorrow, huh?
Oh, you know what? I wouldn't doubt it if I got an email going, I thought it was Sunday. Next time I put a reminder to them, I'll have to make the font real big and black. Friday!
Make it 42-point type.
No, Kevin likes me, guest 11. There's a lot of people that like me. I get a lot of people that come in here that try to perp me, but I could care less. The people that like me outweigh the people that don't like me by thousands.
I love you, baby. Bad baby.
But you know what? I look on my Facebook page every day. I get probably 8 to 10 people wanting me to friend them. I always go and check out their page and everything, and I never realized, but you know, when I don't friend them, they follow me. I never look to see how many people follow me. I got like 400 and some people following me, and I've got 3,448 friends right now.
That's something.
And I don't go looking for them. They seek me out. So.
Yeah, I have the same thing on my poetry site. So I have almost 1,000 people following me now.
I hear there's another big storm coming off the West Coast. It's going to hit Washington State and the upper part of California. You know, they're getting a lot of these storms off of the ocean, and they're really getting a lot of snow and rain. But, you know, they need it. I'm glad that they're getting it, but the problem is that it's causing other problems like mudslides and, you know, man, it's just unreal, the stuff that's happening. One of them storms that came in, they were just washing away the homes up there on the coast. And you know, I don't even understand why people build houses on hills on stilts, especially in a state that has earthquakes. I don't know, maybe they like skiing and they figured they'd try it with their house. You know, when I was in my 20s, I lived in California for 2 years, and that is the most weirdest state, I'm telling you. There's some weird people in that state.
Yeah, it's granola state. Fruits, flakes, and nuts.
I didn't care for it, but, you know, I was there during Christmas, and I'm used to winter and snow, and I mean, when you're driving around and it's 90 degrees out and there's Christmas lights up, it just don't jive with me.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, I really don't think Kevin's going to show up, and I'm not going to entertain the stupidity that's going on in the window. Honest to God. I kind of feel like Rodney Dangerfield's sister, no respect. One of the things, you know, did I ever talk about the nuclear waste that's on fire in St. Louis? There's a nuclear waste site that's on fire in St. Louis, and the people down there were really up in arms about the radiation, and well, guess what? It's underwater now.
Oh, great.
And the last time I watched a story on it, the news reporter was standing there. There was some kind of boom or something, and then somebody ran up and gave her one of them little cloth white masks and said, "Here, you got to put this on." And she goes, "And I can taste it." She says, "I can actually breathing it in. They're telling us we have to move." And I thought, are you stupid? You can taste it and you're breathing it in. Do you know you're breathing in radiation? That was the last story I heard about it. I hope she took her iodine pills before she did the story.
I guess so.
And how about that gas leak thing in L.A.? Did you hear about that?
No.
Oh, yeah. They got this gas leak thing going on where all these people are getting nauseous and the kids are having nosebleeds and they're not, and this is the best part about it, you know, I mean, I don't know if you're going to call it the best part, but the dumbest part, they're not moving anybody out. They're not, they're telling everybody it's okay, and they're all smelling this rotten egg smell, they're saying. And people are having nosebleeds and they're getting sick and And they're actually doctors. I looked at a couple of videos. Doctors are saying it's very dangerous. If you can leave, please leave. And people are just like not doing anything about it. Well, they showed an infrared imaging from the satellite. I saw that. And, you know, there's some black cloud blooms coming out of the ground there. And again, I think it's just a way of getting people sick and getting rid of them. I know there's a lot of videos going around. People are warning people to get out of the area, get out.
If it's rotten egg, it's probably methane.
Yes, it is methane. Oh, and here's one. ISIS says they plan on detonating it.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, and here's another one about ISIS. I was watching Jim Bakker, I don't know, about a month ago, and they were talking about 2 Walmart stores in Missouri had reported that Middle Eastern men were coming in and buying up all the cell phones, you know, the ones that you can buy for track phones, and because they can't be traced. And also, there was a couple of sites where they were buying propane tanks. Well, a couple days ago I was watching it, and they said now there is 11 Walmarts. 11 of them have reported that they bought all their track phones and, again, propane tanks. Well, they actually showed, because I was thinking, what are they going to do, make some kind of thing where the phone detonates the propane tank or something? No. Look it up. Google it. You can look up what they made. It's called Hell Cannon. They take a propane tank and they fill it full of glass and shrapnel and all kinds of crap, and then they weld a stem to it that has a flat end, and they put it in this cannon, and they shoot it. And you know what? They can shoot it up to a mile away.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, they aren't buying them propane tanks to grill a steak, that's for sure. And even Jim Bakker said, yeah, they're preparing to attack us. And he made a valid point. He said, you know, they're warning people not to go to the stadiums, not to go to the football games or to the any of the basketball games or anything like that. And he made a valid point that the Super Bowl's coming up and that they could actually, you know, he said everybody thinks that they're safe in this stadium because everyone's being screened and checked on the way in. He goes, but what if they project those things into the Super Bowl from a mile away? And I thought, valid point. Because I think whatever they're going to use them on, they're going to make sure they get a lot of people at once. They ain't just going to bomb one person's house. But yeah. Oh, and here's another one, too. They found a bunch of explosives in a field somewhere just outside of Chicago.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, well, it never ends. Never ends.
Well, you know, I just wouldn't want to be them standing before God at the end of their lives, having to give an account for everything they did in their bodies.
I hear the Queen's really pissed off about Donald Trump running for president. She says she'll take America back. I don't think, you know how that works. They voter fraud. They pick who goes into office. You know?
Yeah.
You know how that works. Look at what they did when Bush got in. They ended up recounting, and we made a mistake. We counted wrong. We'll just recount in my brother's state. We'll just go down to Florida where the governor is Jeb Bush and he can corrupt all the numbers and we'll just do a recount. Oh, guess what? I won. That ought to be a real telling story about how valid our voting system is.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, guys,
I'm gonna have to go. I have
you hang in there, honey. I understand. I know they attacked you terribly. So you hang in there. I will keep you in my prayers, and I am going to go check my email real quick, see if Kevin has replied, and he hasn't. So all I can say, you guys, is I am so sorry. I apologize that he's not here. I will get a hold of him, rebook him. Hopefully we can get it straightened out. Try to come and join me next week. Next week will be an interesting show. We're going to talk about the Denver airport and the murals and try to go down the rabbit hole of what they're trying to tell us. But I think I am going to close this window out because I'm just kind of rambling on about nothing. And I'm tired of being insulted in my own damn window.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have time when I'm running screen to screen. When I'm going from screen to screen and trying to cover a few subjects, I don't see what's being said about me. But I know that I've got my people that do care about me, that stand up for me to these, I don't know what to call them, trolls, whatever they are. But I don't, I don't want to have to mute everybody because I get one or two idiots that come in,
Yeah.
Not fair. So on that note, I think I'm just going to close the window out tonight, you guys. Sorry. I know this was probably a boring show for you. But
maybe
next week,
do more great shows than ever, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, you got some good ones out there, that's for sure. I've met some interesting people. I've been fortunate enough to meet a lot of interesting people and learn a lot about a lot.
Yeah, you've taught us a lot, Badbaby, and we appreciate you.
Thank you, honey. I try to hang in there. All right, you guys. You take care, sweetie. I'll get a hold of you. Go check those emails that I sent you. I sent you quite a few good pictures about Planet X too, and that's what I'm going to get into. I'm going to look up some people that we can get on here and start talking about Planet X because, unfortunately, you guys, I mean, I really do think that this year is the year that it's going to go down. I don't think it's going to happen really in May or April. I mean, that's what they're predicting, that in May, end of May or the end of May, or I think it was, he said April or May. I'm thinking more like summertime. I don't know why, but that's my gut feeling. I'm thinking around August, September. But, we'll see what happens. I want to get some more information on it. I'm going to, when I do a show on it, I am going to post a lot of the links of the pictures that I've been looking at up in the chat so that you guys will be able to start looking at these pictures that I'm looking at because, I mean, it's getting closer and people are going to be able to look. And like Terrell said, one day everybody's just going to look up and it's going to be there. But, yeah, let me post that David Bowie video for latecomers. I see if I got it still. My next show, I am on Wednesday night in my 46333 window with Mike Goldberg, and that's my holistic healing. And then my regular interview shows are on for every Friday night at 10 p.m., 43503 window.
Thank you, Badbaby.
You're quite welcome, honey. And again, I apologize, everybody. I don't know what happened to Kevin. I will get a hold of him and get him back out here because he has some very interesting information to give us about what's going on with the children.